Hi everyone, good evening, it's Lara here and I hope you've had an amazing day 2 of our Achieve-a-thon. I'm really delighted by the fact that people are posting up what you're getting done, that you're using the post-it note process to make things happen. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how you're going. I'd love to hear some feedback from you. When you're online, just say hi Dana, how are you? Great, so just say hi when you pop on and ask any questions that you've got, anything at all that cropped up today. I know that there were a couple of comments around, I think Ezra, you mentioned that sometimes you don't really know how long things are going to take, so that for you, for example, you had a couple of things that were about an hour, that you thought would be about an hour and they took you slightly longer. Now listen, that's absolutely fine. I think at the moment, as you go into the first, perhaps few days of this challenge, you'll be writing things on post-it notes and you won't really have a clear picture or a clear understanding necessarily of how long they are going to take. What I'm asking you to do in the early stages is just do an approximation of how long you think, and then allocate yourself that time. If you go over, of course, that's absolutely fine. You just may need to revise your estimates in the future, or you may be doing something that is new to you, in which case you probably would expect that you would take a bit longer in the early stages, but that you would pretty quickly develop the skill and therefore the speed to, for that time frame to be shorter in the future. Now, the other thing that I'd like to say too is that I use 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 and 60 because that really suits me and the way that I work. But of course, you could choose any 4 different time frames that you like. So you could start at 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or your starting time could be 20 minutes, and then you just double it from there. So whatever you find works best for you is the best way to go about it. Anything at all, any process that I'll ever teach you is about trying it on and seeing if it fits, and then making some adjustments as necessary. I'm not particularly prescriptive about the things that you have to do, but I will recommend things to you, ask you to try them on, and then you need to fit them around your working style, your working preferences, to make sure that they do actually work for you. And that's key. You'll have your own little tweaks and your own little nuances in everything that I teach, whether it's in this challenge or my mastermind or any of my programs. It's all about being flexible and adapting the resources and information to meet your specific needs. So I was also really pleased to start seeing some of your matches come up today as well. You'll see that I put a post in there with the headline, a graphic with the headline matches. Now, matches are really important because they're what keeps us going. A good idea too in terms of matches is that you may choose to have a song, and I think maybe tomorrow we will go with a song as something that can light us up and uplift us. Yesterday I posted up Pink's Let's Get the Party Started, and I think that anything that is going to, at the start of each day, get you into high vibration, and for a lot of you, particularly people who are very auditory, who love to listen to music, for some of us it's a distraction when we work, but for those of you who love to listen to music when you're working, use that to really boost your productivity and boost your vibe and to boost how you're feeling, because when you're in a positive mood, when you've got energy, when you are, or when you're relaxed, you may like to listen to piano concertos or meditation music or spa music that you download from YouTube, or you may like, vocals that have words, whatever it is. Choose music that's going to uplift you. So I want you to start to think about that for tomorrow, because we might have a bit of a song-a-thon tomorrow, and create a bit of a playlist for productivity. So for today, you obviously wrote down what you were going to achieve and your to-do list. I'd love to know as well, hi Ezra, how are you? Thank you for your question, your comment earlier about things taking a little longer, perhaps than you'd anticipated. I've just talked about that now, but basically, however long you're taking is right for you, and that's great. You may speed up. At the moment, you're just guesstimating how long things are going to take, but as you do more and more of them, you'll get to know how long things do take you, so you can give a more realistic estimate. And you also may become better, more effective, more efficient at doing similar tasks. So that's another thing to consider as well. So I'd love to hear down below in the post underneath this, when I finish this live, is how you're going to celebrate what you've done today, what you achieved. Doesn't have to be a massive celebration, although you can throw yourself a little party every night. That's cool too. But, what are you going to do to celebrate what you achieved today? Again, what I want you to start to see in this review your day section is what are the things, yesterday we talked about distraction and the real importance of recognizing distractions throughout the day. And hopefully you're starting to see patterns there, and hopefully in seeing those patterns you can work out strategies to reduce those distractions. Now, actually, Dana had a great question early on today, which was about what about adding my personal to-do list to the post-it notes? Absolutely, because actually if we've got things hanging over us, that we're thinking about that we need to do in the day, that can be a distraction because they're occupying. Those to-dos in our personal life are occupying part of our brain space, and we want to use all our brain when we're in flow on the tasks that we've got at hand. We want to use our brains, our conscious awareness, to get things done and not be thinking in the back of our minds about all the things that we've still got to do, particularly if it relates to our family or things outside of our business. So that was great. So today I want you to really focus on answering what you were grateful for in your business today. What were you grateful for? What went really well in your day? Start to notice the patterns as well of the sort of things that you're really grateful for and happy about. Great. So needed those today, Dana's saying. In fact, they took over. Look, sometimes that happens, right? Life happens, and that's the reality, I think, for our small business owners and solopreneurs. Life happens, and it's about trying to anticipate as much as we can of things that go on, particularly when you've got kids. You've got a kind of volatile variable in there. A lot of us know that, you can never anticipate when a child is going to become ill and require your attention, or the snow is going to cause the school to close for 2.5 days, which is what happened to me last week. So I unexpectedly had my 2 daughters home. And I think the more agile and flexible we can become, and the more productive we can become in our businesses, and the more we can kind of work on the mindset of expecting the unexpected sometimes, then the more effective we can be, because things won't throw us as much. And I think actually having a framework and a structure to work in, like this one that I've been sharing with you, gives you more flexibility and freedom. And in a way, it's kind of talking about two opposites, isn't it? Let's put lots of structure into your day and give you the freedom and flexibility. But it's that very structure, by its nature, that we know what we need to get done and we know how long it's going to take us, that gives us that freedom. Because then we can very quickly and easily juggle. We can juggle the kitten, the chainsaw and the egg, and we can change things around on our schedule to best suit us, to make things happen. So we can reprioritize. Maybe instead of getting 3 things done in a day, you'll get 1 thing done. But because you've got them written down, you'll know what your number 1 priority is. And that's absolutely key, because you really want to be working on every day your top priority first. Get that out of the way, and then you make room for things that are perhaps a little lower down on your list throughout the time frame. So you're going to also then start to think about, okay, well, what am I going to achieve tomorrow based on what I've done today? What can I scrunch up and put in my jar? How am I progressing with my post-it notes? And remembering too that if you're finding that you're working really effectively and quickly and those post-it notes are reducing, then what can you be replacing those with as well? So are there any questions or comments at this stage about what you've been doing? Has anyone got something they want to high five for? If you're watching the replay, please ask questions and put your comments down as well. Is there anything that you are struggling with maybe, or that you are a little unsure of, or that you'd like my advice about how to tweak and change so that it really fits well for you? I'm sorry, I've got some Facebook notifications coming in, and I thought I'd turn them off, which of course was one of my tips this morning. So here's how it works in practice. I'm giving you a practical demonstration of how it works in being a distraction to have those pop-up notifications coming up. But anyway, so yeah, if there are any questions or comments, anything that you want help with, please let me know. Now, I know that you've been posting what your goals are and what you want to get done. If you actually want, so we're talking a lot about process these couple of days. So that means that we've been talking about how to actually structure your time and structure your workload. But if you've got questions that relate specifically to something that you want to be able to do more effectively, if you've got questions, for example, about how to create social media content, or if you've got questions about how to, do some research on your ideal client, or any of the things that you've listed, or how to start a website, or what main pages you need, or any of those questions, please pop them up as well, because I'll be happy to answer those too. And I'm sure as a community we have a lot of responses that we can provide as well. Ezra says, that's what I've been doing, Lara. Most of mine needs doing in a certain order. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. And that will often, that's a great point, Ezra. Often what you'll find is when you're completing a project or a goal, that things are quite linear. So you need to do A, then B, then C, then D, then E. And that's, and that is quite common. I think if you've got more than one goal, then what you may be able to do is have the flexibility to, if you're finding that you've got a little bit of time left at the end of the day, and say the next task on your goal one list is going to take you about half an hour and you've got 15 minutes, then just grab a post-it note that is 15 minutes from perhaps another goal that you've got, or use that time for something else, for a self-care element, or, going on social media if that supports your business. But you can really flex it up. Okay. So if you're going to start something, I want you to be able to finish it, so that each and every individual to do on that post-it note is complete in and of itself. Okay, I've posted a question earlier in Canva, but I don't know if you've seen it. Just remind me, Ezra. I'm sure I probably did see it. Yeah. Do you mind just typing it out again, or copy and pasting it? And I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. Canva is very useful as a tool, and I know it certainly saves me a lot of time. I have the Pro version, which enables you to upload your own fonts and colours and create templates, which is excellent. You can also create folders to organise things. So if you've got a number of different products, services, obviously things like social media posts, then you can create templates based around your brand colours. And then all you need to do is just fill in, one of those templates, and then you can resize for each of the different social media platforms. So it enables you to resize for, Facebook, LinkedIn posts, Twitter, Instagram, etc. So yeah, just pop your question in again, Ezra, and then I'm more than happy to answer that question for you about Canva. And again, if anyone has questions about anything, so questions could be around things like creating an online program. They could be about technology, software questions around some free software and ways to do things. I think there's a few people in the group who are in the early stages of building a business, and obviously I don't necessarily like the term bootstrapping, but obviously what you want to do in the early phases of your business is be quite conscious of the money that you're spending to get it started. And there are actually a lot of things that you can do to save time and money in your businesses in the early days. And what I'll share with you is based on my own mistakes, where I spent money where in reality I didn't really need to. So I'm happy to share any tips like that with you as well, around how do you create an online course without buying online course software? How do you create a membership site without doing the same thing? So hit me up with those sort of questions as well. I'm doing some masterclasses coming up around membership sites and things, and so I'll let you know about those as well. Ezra, okay, I've actually planned my overall goal So can I add to that if I have time, as I know things tend to take me longer? So you've planned your overall goal so that I can add to it if I have time. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Yeah, so that's great. So you've planned your goal, Ezra, with great self-awareness, that things can tend to take a little longer, and that's great, okay? Giving yourself that freedom, and that's so key, and you've touched on another key point. Let's be realistic with ourselves and kind to ourselves as well. One of the ways in which we can beat ourselves up is we overpromise ourselves what we can get done, and we're unrealistic. Now, I by no means am I saying here go easy on yourself in terms of, being lazy or not putting in the effort, not taking the action that you need to take to get results. But equally, what I want each and every one of you to be aware of is that you need to set yourself up for success. You need to set yourself up to get the results that you desire. And partly that's about building your own confidence and your own self-efficacy and your own mastery. Now, self-efficacy is where we become really competent at doing certain things in our businesses, and it takes time. It is a learning process. It's a learning process for everyone, no matter what stage of business they're at, right? So it's really important to be kind to yourself, and part of that is giving yourself enough time to do what you need to do in the way that you need to do it. And so that's a great point, Ezra, right? You just need to make sure that you are doing that. And then you've got a little bonus at the end that if you do find you've got 20 minutes at the end of the day or half an hour or whatever, you then have things that you can add to that, okay? All right, I'll copy and paste it in the group if no reply, thanks. Membership info sounds great. Yeah, good. Okay, brilliant. Copy and paste it in the group. Otherwise, you could copy and paste a question here in the chat box. That would be awesome, and then I'm happy to answer that around Canva. If anyone else is on and you've got questions or comments so far, I would love to hear them. I'd love to know what you're doing, in your businesses. I'd love to know what goals you're working on today, and if there's anything else I or the rest of the community can do. I think in some ways, as we're saying, I've also given myself too much to do, as still catching up, just trying to find a balance. Yeah, okay. So there may be some ways in giving yourself too much to do that you can perhaps cut things down a little bit. And it's also thinking about the interdependencies between the different things, the different goals that you've set yourself. As you mentioned earlier, you can have a goal that is very linear, that requires a step-by-step process, that step A leads to step B, and you need to do things in a certain order. You may also have things that are related to that, but maybe what might be useful for you is to focus on one goal and the achievement of that in this 14 days, and then be able to replicate the process ongoing with the remaining goals. And there'll be an opportunity for you guys to keep going with this kind of system and support in a much more ramped up way that I'll be talking to you a little bit about towards the end of this week and early next week. Hi Tara. Tara says, I tried to use standard Canva. Spent over an hour on there trying to design a flower and came away as nothing, as could only find A4 size. Okay. That's interesting. Tara, which browser were you using? Were you using Firefox, Safari, or Chrome? Because sometimes, believe it or not, still in this day and age, depending on the browser you use for certain applications, things will work and things won't work. I find Chrome works the best for me in terms of Canva. Firefox is pretty good too. But yeah, that's interesting. If you want to, Tara, tomorrow, if I've got a minute, if I can PM you tomorrow maybe at some point when I've got a break, I'm coaching tomorrow, but if you'd like me to, I can PM you and maybe we can do a quick Zoom and you can share your screen with me so I can get to grips with what's happening, and I might be able to sort it out for you quite quickly. Or if you can maybe take a screenshot or something and post it in the group as well if you're busy tomorrow or whatever. Let's get that sorted though, because Canva is a time saver, and I'm really sorry that it's taken you over an hour. Obviously when you're learning things. Yeah, Safari, okay. As a general rule in my experience, Safari is the least compatible, useful, friendly browser that you can use. So always go Firefox Chrome. Things like Facebook Ad Manager only work in Chrome. So just be aware of that. Okay. Ezra, my spare time, if I have any, will be in the last few days. Good. Okay. So then what we can do, Ezra, this is good. What we can do, and I love these, my masterminders will attest to this, I love sprints. So we can do a sprint. So what you do is a series of short, sharp attacks and in terms of tasks, and then we do a long one in the middle, and then we do another sprint at the end. And Ezra says, I'll try and find my question now and repost. Okay, brilliant. Just pop it in here, because we just had Tara talking about Canva, Ezra. So, yeah, that would be fab. I've got customers in the morning that will screenshot. Yeah, screenshot it, and then what I'll do, Tara, is I can PM you when I've got a break in between coaching sessions. And, yeah, if you're free at that time, in the afternoon, looks like it's better for you. If you're free at that time, we can just do a quick screen share and I can take you through, share my screen with you as well. But it's probably easier if you show me on yours what's happening so I can get to grips with it. In the meantime, I would highly recommend trying to use it on Firefox or Chrome. Just open the app in either of those two browsers. Okay, brilliant. So Ezra, I don't know if you're copying and pasting. If you're on, just say hi. If you're watching the replay and you've got questions, there's a lot of great questions being asked tonight, which is fabulous. If you're on the replay and you've got questions, please do remember to post them down below. Also, remember to post down those key things, what you got done today. And I want you to really start thinking about what you're grateful for in your business today. Start noticing those distractions that are cropping up for you, because we are going to put strategies in place to rid you of those distractions. Being able to do that is really, really critical, as is, and this was brought up by Dana, being able to juggle and prioritize effectively and have the structure in place that enables you to have the flexibility to do what you need to do in your life and in your business. I'm back. Great, Ezra. Hi. I had to leave to get the post. Okay, do you want to just copy and paste it here? Hi, Amanda. Good to see you. Amanda, I'll just introduce you, Amanda, actually. Amanda is my fabulous graphic design person who actually created this workbook for me. So, and Amanda does a lot of work around branding, and she does a lot of graphics in Canva. So if you do have Canva questions and Amanda is in the group, then I'm sure that she'll be more than happy just to answer them for you quickly. But she is, as you can see, by the nature of the graphics that she's produced, she's very adept at what she does. So welcome. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you here. Okay, so Ezra. Lara, this has got me thinking. I was already pondering over lunch. I've already established that there is a possibility. I haven't explored everything as yet. The costs with involved using Canva. Currently, I need to keep those as low as possible. However, I've started my workbook design using A4 document template. I'm wondering if I should have used something else. I seem to remember seeing something about PDF, and I will want the final version to be in that format so it's fillable but not changeable. Do you know if I can do this from A4 templates, copy it over, or do I need to start again? Okay, so first of all, when you're using Canva, make sure you're using either Firefox or Chrome as your browser. Second of all, it doesn't matter what format your workbook is in. A4 obviously is the most user-friendly when you are, so there's an ebook format on Canva, there's A4 document, or there's various different sizes, US sizes I think are standard as well. You can use an A4 document template, absolutely. There are books in there. I can't remember just without going into it, but there are ebook templates in there as well. A4 document is quite useful. I find it handy to use for things like downloadable PDFs. Now, everything in Canva that you create gives you an option to download it in 3 different formats. One is a PDF document, so you don't have to select PDF. You are not creating in Word. A4 is just at this stage, Ezra, referring to the size of the document that you're creating. So then what happens is when you save it or download it, you select download either PDF or you download as a PNG image or a JPEG image. So when you've created your document, you can download it as a PDF. You then also, my recommendation is use the download as a PNG, and you can just select the front page for this, to download as an image file, and then you can put it on Facebook. If you're promoting an ebook, this is really, really useful, because what you can do is download that first page as an image that then you can put in a Facebook post or on any other social media and on your website. You could also, for example, download a PNG or a JPEG image, so the picture files of the front page, first and second page maybe, and then create another image from that, which is of the 3 displayed. So you could see the front page and maybe a couple of the interior pages of the ebook to go on a graphic or a post for social media and to also go on your website. And it's just a really attractive and useful way of doing that. Now, the other thing is you can also use to create a fillable PDF, which is free, something called PDF Escape, pdfescape.com. And basically you upload the document once it's finished, and then you create fillable fields using very simple click, point, and drag tool in PDF Escape. If you go onto YouTube and type in the search term PDF Escape, there are a couple of people in there with free tutorials to show you how to do that, Ezra. So create your workbook in Canva. A4 format is fine. Save it as a PDF. Save the front cover as a minimum as a PNG or a JPEG file, an image file, so you can use that as part of your marketing collateral. And then go into PDF Escape, upload that same document, and then you can create the fillable fields. Okay, hopefully that's answered your question. Amanda, if I've got that wrong in any way, please feel free to chip in. Dana, sorry got to go to celebrate today's achievements in the pub. Excellent! Catch up later and see you all in the group. Great, Dana. I'm glad that you've had a great day, a productive day, and I'm also glad that you're going out and doing something to celebrate. So, hopefully, if you are watching the replay and you have got any questions, please do ask them in this link here. Post down your plans, post how your day went, how you're celebrating. Let's get in and share, and post up on that mantra train as well. Tomorrow we're going to do our high vibe song train. So whatever songs you feel you love to listen to that lift you up and get you going and inspired in your business, let's share those. And here's to another really successful, really productive and really wonderful day. If there are no more questions, I'm going to head off now, and I will see you again bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning. Thanks very much for all your hard work so far. I'm really loving what is unfolding, and I look forward to seeing what happens at the end of the day tomorrow too. Okay, take care everyone. Bye for now.